Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to St. Paul's Church in Clare, County Tipperary. This church is a unique church in Ireland. This is a John Nash built church. It's a stunning church. We need funds for restoration of the church. Here is my display of Bibles, starting with Mr. William Tyndale's Bible of 1534. And the Bible, as my photographer will now show, is the Tyndale, the first time on display ever in an exhibit of early English Bibles. It is a stunning book, and we're here in this beautiful church to show off other famous books and Bibles, and the posters of Tyndale that I and a friend designed. And ladies and gentlemen, William Tyndale gave us the Bible in English, but he also gave us something more important that we've forgotten. He's given us the English language. And this was very important. Without English, lyrical English, we would not have had William Shakespeare, not the great English poets, not the great playwriters. And this book here is William Shakespeare, 1623 Folio of his plays. And Tyndale is directly, language is used in the language of Mr. Shakespeare at the time. Besides the Bible, the wonderful Bible in the English language that Tyndale gave us, a lyrical English language, he gave us modern English that we speak to this day. Few people are aware of phrasing and words that we take for granted today. Even Mr. William Shakespeare used a lot of the sayings and words. For example, let there be light, or step out for God, or the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. These are all great sayings and quotes that William Tyndale and many others, 50 to 100 others, he gave us. But he gave us uniqueness. He gave us a language of communication, a lyrical language for the poets to use, for the writers of the day to use. He gave us that, not just the Bible in English, but he gave us the English language. And that was very important. Thank you. Also of the same period, the king was Henry VIII at the time of Mr. Tyndale, his existence and his demise. And his famous saying was, when he was being put to death, was he asked the Lord to open the eyes of the King of England. We have here a book by and for Henry VIII. And this book is a handwritten manuscript, and that's Henry's crest. And this book is called the Garter book, Knights of the Garter. And this is a very important book. This is all handwritten. And as we can see, Henry VIII, this was written by hand as a manuscript, both in French and English. And this was written in 1521. And the importance of this book is the language of the court at the time was not English, it was French. Because England claimed half of France as part of its empire at the time. So Henry VIII is here, who is also the Lord of Ireland. He didn't become King of Ireland till 1530. And another book we have here is Erasmus' paraphrase on the Bible in English, which was published in 1548. This is a very important book because this is the book that Queen Mary, when she ascended the throne as a Catholic, wanted this particular book destroyed. And she ran, you'd have to follow me for a moment because I have to explain. She ran a knife through the book, so you can see the book, I have restored the book, it's damaged. A knife went through this book, but I have repaired lovingly practically every single page. The other extraordinary thing about this book is Catherine, Henry's last wife, Catherine Parr, had written a section of this, as had Mary herself. So this is a unique Bible of 1548. And something else people might not be aware of, ladies and gentlemen, which is very important. While the Bible gave us many things in Christianity, and Tyndale gave us the English language, it also gave us the law. And all the law derived from God's law at the time. And that was very important. This folio that I have here is really canon law. I know it's nothing to do with the English Bible, but the laws derived from the Bible, whether it's in Latin or whether it's in English. And that was vitally important, because we had a set of laws that we used, God's laws, that we use as a guiding force in our lives, and was certainly in the lives of people at that time. And Tyndale was a righteous man. And many people are not aware of it, but Tyndale was a Catholic priest. So canon law governed his life. And that was very important. The daughter of Anne Boleyn. So you're holding privilege. And of course the bookbinder, this is Edward VI, the son of Henry VIII. So he had it made for his son.
Four monarchs have a direct history with, Henry VIII, his son Edward, Mary and Elizabeth.
Just a big thank you, first of all, for the use of this wonderful John Nash Church, which is a Church of Ireland church in the small town of Cahir in County Tipperary in Ireland. A most magnificent little church, and well worth any funds that we need to restore the roof and other general maintenance that needs to be done on this wonderful, beautiful John Nash Church. I am privileged to hold my first collection of early English Bibles and other rare early books in this magnificent church. As you can see, we span from the Tyndale Bible. We even have an older Bible from the 5th, 6th century, which we'll talk about another day, which is a Coptic Bible. And of course then we got the Vinegar Bible here, and early books, Victorian, Book of Hours over here in the corner, the wonderful plates of Book of Hours. Again, a magnificent basket Bible, Shakespeare's. Reformation books, pamphlets, very important. And of course, John Calvin. We got two editions here. The first printing of the Geneva Bible in English in London, which is the 1577. The Bible was normally published in Geneva in Switzerland. Again, the influence is John Calvin. And this is John Calvin's Sermons, which was the first English printing of this, is 1583. And then, of course, we talked about these books. There's Henry's book. We also have the man Columbus that discovered the States. We have a book, so John Mandeville's Travels to the Orient, published in 1488, 3 years before Columbus found America. This is the book that was on the ship because they didn't expect to find America. They expected to find China. So they took a travel book with them at the period, which is so John Mandeville's Travels to the Orient. A magnificent book. Early printing books is exceptionally rare, and this is early printing book, exceptionally rare. The title page actually is in the back page, which is typical of the period because it's early printing, 1488, as can be seen there. A magnificent book. And then, of course, we got John Speed's map of the Holy Land, 1611. Vitally important because that's from the He Bible, 1611 King James Bible. This is exceptionally rare, this map in its own right. And then we have other books here. We got, of course, Eric Gill illustration from his Bible. We got a Bible in Welsh, not in Irish. I used to have an Irish Bible in Irish, but unfortunately that's disappeared long ago, given to a friend. And we had then other later Bibles from 1700 on this side. And then we have what's called cantorals, which is on vellum musical skin of the 12th century. Beautiful done, beautifully handwritten script, absolutely gorgeous early music sheets. We got them here, and then we got more Bibles 17th century. And then, of course, finally we got the law book, canon law from 1500. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for your attention, and thank you for coming to our display here at St. John's Church, which is in Cahir, County Tipperary, a Church of Ireland church, a magnificent church. We need any funds that you could give us to restore and maintain this magnificent building. My collection, I'm honoured to display it here for the first time ever, including my Tyndale, first time on display ever. Very important. So thank you again. and good night.